Dusty Lidster and Dane Stewart with you. As always, presented by Heidemann & Associates. Our playoff coverage is brought to you by NutriCost. Go to NutriCost.com. Find over 300 supplement products available to you. Use the code UTAHMADE and get 30% off. A Utah-built company for Utah-built athletes. NutriCost.com. Use UTAHMADE. Get 30% off your next supplement order. Our matchup, the Bountiful basketball team taking on the reigning state champion. Bountiful taking on Brighton in this one. The winner moves on to the semifinals, and for Bountiful a chance to defend their 5A crown.
Yeah, and a rematch from earlier this year. These two teams played in the non-region. That was a 3-point win for Bountiful. As Brighton made a great second half surge. They trailed by 13 at the break. Lost 57-54. Harvey had 21. Malika Satwala had 20. You talk about Stevens, Taylor Workman, Charlotte O'Neill. There's a lot of pieces. Sophie Nielsen for this Brighton team. Can they keep up the scoring of Bountiful? I think that'll be a big question that we'll probably get a feel for early.
Coach Kane Stokes of Brighton bringing his team in here as they try to fit that ball inside. This is Satwala. Her brother played valiantly early on the day, fell as the bucket there from Jensen.
And that's where, when you look at this Bountiful team, we've got Taylor Harvey, Satwala, and then you've got three other players that are all averaging over 6.5. There's great scoring depth, and there's great scoring talent for Bountiful, and it's a tough matchup.
Olivia Stevens could not get that extra opportunity to fall as that ball is inside, and the rebound taken away by O'Neill. Now on the run, Stevens. Says back up top to O'Neill. O'Neill drives, gets Harvey off her feet, misses at the rim, and the rebound to Bountiful.
Well, I don't know if she felt Taylor Harvey kind of coming down. It almost felt like, I know she's trying to get her in the air, but then kind of rushed that quick attempt after. Couldn't get it to go.
The sophomore Satwala hands off up top. That's Mae Johnson. And now finds Satwala. Michaela left that one short of the rebound. Tracked down by the Bengals. It was Lucy Chin that tracked down that rebound. And she hands off to Olivia Stevens. Olivia sends that one over to the corner. And now we'll have a first foul of the night. Adelaide Stevenson gives up the foul on Ruth Larson.
Yeah, Ruth Larson, a junior, in the starting lineup tonight. And that's where, when you think of a game like this, what role players can step up and maybe have a big game, right? 8 points.
And there's Satwala with the steal and the bucket.
The start that Brighton was hoping for.
Oh.
A turnover there. They had a good look inside, didn't hit it. Yeah, you just love to see a little success for this Brighton squad, but they turned over again.
Sophie Nielsen with the turnover to Adelaide Stevenson. Talk about Malika Satwala. You can tell she was a freshman last year. She grew quite a bit into her sophomore year.
Yeah.
That ball slapped away. Stevens comes away with it. Gets that ball ahead. And the opportunity here with Sophie Nielsen. Inside off the window, no. Battles for the rebound, but it's taken away by Mae Johnson. When you think about this, this team from Bountiful, the entire roster is coming back. At least of the contributors, Harvey, Satwala, Scheisse. They have a bunch of them.
That's crazy.
And there's a 3 from Adelaide Stevenson. And then when you look at Brighton, the entire team comes back next year. They're all sophomores and juniors. But a 7-0 start here for Bountiful. And that ball goes out of bounds and will stay with Brighton. Try to feed that in. They do get it to O'Neill. She loses the handle. Send it back out to Ruth Larson. No, and O'Neill dribbles off her foot. Picked up by Stevenson. And Stevenson has a clear path to the rim. Misses.
Well, it tells you the focus Brighton has because Stevens could have gotten over. But she's like, I'm not giving Taylor Harvey.
Yeah,
I'm not leaving my wingman.
Foul on the drive, put Stevens in line. I should have clipped it and gone back because she ran right to Harvey.
I don't know if I've ever seen
Arms
that.
out. I had never either. Her back was to
Like
the
I don't.
ball.
You can take 15 for all I care. I'm staying with Taylor.
And the
And I get it,
yeah.
right? Like you don't want Taylor to find her rhythm in this one.
I was stunned by that. But it worked. Shockingly, it worked. As Stevens makes both free throws.
That's next level.
That's just anticipation. I mean, that's Peyton Manning level anticipation. It's like buying Papa John locations the night before an election. Saw Tawala in the lane. I'll have to explain later. I started the joke. I'll explain off air. I'm not explaining on air.
It's like buying a Cold Stone on February 27th.
Essentially, no, I'll explain off air. Adam Schefter had the tweet, not me. As that shot from Stevens is short. Rebound taken by Mae Johnson.
Of course, I would never do a Cold Stone because I'm a handles guy.
Absolutely. Buckeye, still my favorite. And there goes Taylor Harvey down the baseline and scores.
And that's the thing about Taylor. You can defend her all you want. She's going to find opportunities, and she's such a good scorer.
Future Texas Longhorn volleyball player. Her sister playing at Stanford. She's going to be joining the national champions. On the pump. Now the drive to O'Neal. And just a little gamed up here is Brighton in the start of this ball game.
Coach Harvey was frustrated. You could hear him as he saw that lane opportunity for Brighton. Again, the Bengals just haven't been able to hit a field goal yet.
Satawala inside out. Stevenson. 4-3, her second three of the quarter at a 14-2 start for the reigning champs.
And remember, this is the tough end. And it doesn't look that tough for Bountiful.
I think as the day's gone on.
It's got to be the lighting.
Has to be. I know it's all that light that gets through here in those tunnels. O'Neal from way outside misses. Stevens comes in for the board and she traveled. Yeah. Changed her feet down the baseline. This isn't the NBA. Only James Harden gets something like that. And the timeout on the floor. And we'll take it with them. 14-2. Bountiful runs out to the lead. It's a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. Get your hair restoration or any of your cosmetic needs taken care of by the professionals at Utah Facial Plastics.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
Now, the timeout, I want to thank NutriCost for their help here, being the sponsor of our coverage this week. We're always presented by Heidemann and Associates. NutriCost came in for the state tournament to help us out as that three is good by Isabeau Hoff.
How about Brighton, a little 1-3-1 there? You don't see that a lot on the girls' side, but able to work that across the top of the three-point line, and Hoff able to drill it.
I'm running the risk of Dane pulling a less is more. And the Angels have won it. What movie? Hit us up. Get a free, get a four count box of cookies from Crumble Cookie. What movie was that? He mutes him. Less is more. And the Angels have won it. Down the lane. The take goes in and out on Sophie Nielsen. That ball out of bounds, and it'll go back to Bountiful.
I mean, he just gave you part of the movie name,
Yeah,
guys. So, I mean, we cannot make this a whole lot easier.
Bar lowered. Waste what responses. And I will tell you all of the award-winning actors in that film.
I will tell you, my favorite is the pitcher who comes on his trademark slide to the pitcher's mound.
On the drive, swatted away by O'Neal. Wearing Shaq's number when he wasn't at the Orlando Magic. So I'm taking her dad as a Laker fan.
Or maybe a Magic fan. There's still 5 or 6 of them.
Missed their opportunity. They really did. Out top. Nowhere to go with it. Back out to Satawala. As Halika got a little wild on that one. Goes out of bounds. The ball will go back to Brighton. My favorite actor is one. I don't want to give it away because it definitely will give away the movie, but he's got a great trademark that he still uses to today. 3 words. The first 3 words he ever said. Yeah. The first 3 words a man ever said on screen has become his catchphrase. Yep. And he's in that movie. Down the lane. Oh, Stevens. There is a lid on the hoop for the Bengals.
I mean, she doesn't miss that shot. And yet she just did.
I fear for Bountiful when Brighton finds their shot in this game, but it's about to take and make by Taylor Harvey.
Well, they're building such a lead right now, it might not matter. We talked about that first match. It was a 13-point game at the half. We got 17 here in the first quarter. And Brighton still, those 2 points coming from the line.
That's true. I mean, they haven't made a field goal. It's O'Neal off on the 3. Rebound out of bounds. And the ball will go back to Bountiful.
Number 4, Adelaide Stevenson.
Any responses yet, Vince? All right. Well, camera guy just trying to give it away.
Yeah, come on, man.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, give it away now. He's got till the end of the quarter, and he can win. Inside of a minute left in the first quarter. Game 7 on the day for our crew. There's Satawala. On the back way down, sends it out for 3. And Malia Nelson can't get it to go. O'Neal with the rebound. About a 7-second difference between game clock and shot clock. And a travel. Yeah. Caught the ball. Sophie Nielsen hadn't quite decided what she was going to do with it. And turns it over. Good chance to look at on the Utah Facial Plastics replay.
Just because you've never seen it before doesn't mean it's illegal.
How do you adjudicate such things? As Satawala, who's straight away. It's Nelson turns it over. Picked up by O'Neal. Trailing 3 for Chin. Won't go. That ball goes out of bounds. And the ball again. To Bountiful with 7.5 seconds left. The game 7 of 8 today. Or probably this is. Yeah, 7 of 8. Harvey short. And the rebound to Sophie Nielsen. And that will do it for the first quarter. And at the end of the first quarter, it is Bountiful 19. The Brighton Bengals 2. The reigning champs flex their muscles in the first quarter. We'll be back with the second quarter. You're watching the 2024 5A State Championship Basketball Tournament presented by Heidemann Associates, and our coverage brought to you by NutriCost. Welcome back in. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart started the second quarter. We gave cameraman Austin Bigelow a shot. He knew the movie. Should we just go ahead and name the movie? We can do another one later.
Let's do it.
Angels in the Outfield was the movie. So my favorites, right at the end of the movie when the color commentator takes it over from the pompous play-by-play guy. Doesn't happen here.
You know, he has his own logo, the play-by-play guy.
It's amazing. They try to play off the owner as like he was Gene Autry. There we go. The first field goal of the ball game for the Brighton Bengals. And nice take and finish there by Ruth Larson.
Yeah, I talked about, I think in a game like this, I know the score. Right now, you just don't look at it if you're Bountiful, right?
Yeah.
Worry about going out, playing hard. But in a game like this, thought their role players were going to have to step up and have a breakout game for 1 or 2. And Ruth the first to hit a field goal.
Before the ball is knocked out of bounds by Brighton, a foul going to be called on Charlotte O'Neal.
We also have the infamous Tony Danza in that movie with his breakout, the football kicking garbage man from Southside Philadelphia, whatever that movie was, ABC Family Special. You know what I'm talking about?
I never watched it, but I know what you're talking about. He was
the garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon. There you go.
And Neil McDonough was your favorite player, your favorite actor, Whit Bass. And there's a steal. But as soon as we have a dead ball, we'll go through. I mean, it's amazing who else is in that movie. On the drive, Satawala. Now the foul. Going to give Malika Satawala 2 free throws.
Foul on number 2, Olivia Stevens of Brighton.
We kind of missed that one. That's on me.
Her first.
But Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, center fielder.
He's the first one carried.
Yep.
But the first words he ever said on screen was, all right, all right, all right. And Dazed and Confused.
Wow, I did not know him.
Adrian Brody won an Oscar. Adrian Brody won an Oscar. Christopher Lloyd. Many.
Well, and the mom, the adoption home
Brenda
mom,
Fricker, yeah.
she was in Home Alone.
Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2, right.
Dermot Mulroney. Vince and I love him because he's Fancy Man on New Girl. So free throw good, 21-4. Lead now for Bountiful.
Good flick. Of course, based off of an original around the Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's actually a documentary. Traveling violation.
The We Are Family season.
No. It's about a losing franchise who can't catch a break.
Or the shot heard around the world.
You know, back before I was born, they were great.
They were awesome. Ford Field was the largest field in baseball. As Santawala sends that ball out as Harvey. And now the 3 short tipped up
Nice
and
follow.
in by Harvey. You don't have to go back to 7 or probably 11 or 0. They do get 2 points. It's 23-4.
Brighton's probably wishing they would.
Is there a tip-in rule? We can get going here.
Oh, wait, that's sent Brighton back, huh?
Yeah, what's sent Brighton back?
Yeah, never mind.
Ruth got that ball out to O'Neal. O'Neal in the lane, step through, blocked away by Harvey.
They're just all over. I mean, it's just, we talk about the range, the length, the athleticism. Bountiful is just being able to do pretty much everything on both ends of the floor.
Taylor Harvey kind of anywhere she wants to be on the floor. Inside out and stolen away by Olivia Stevens, and then the foul to Malika Satawala.
Number 11, Malika Satawala. That's her first
See the
and the
reach.
second team foul. Into the Brighton lineup. Number 14, Kira Pittman.
Falatau in the stands. The 30 seconds left in the first half. O'Neal short on the 3. Malika with the rebound and run out. Malika pulls and hits. Was not an easy shot. Great shot by Malika.
Yeah, I don't know if she got the elevation she's accustomed to. That shot was rather flat, but all you got to do is get over the front part of the rim, and she did.
There's Stevens. Guarded by Stevenson. And then that shot is short. Bountiful. Bountiful just took control of this game early on. That ball getting a little loose as Arnoldson gets the loose ball and hands it off to Ruth Larson. On the take, Stevens. No call. Again, officials have been very consistent with this. Not going to call a lot of stuff at the rim. Satawala gives it up, and that ball slapped away. Hand there by Kira Pittman. Ruth Larson can't get that one to go. And the rebound claimed by Harvey. So a 21-point advantage now for Bountiful. 25-4 as the 3 is good. Stevenson's third 3 of the first half. Go baseline and stolen. Just wait on it, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say there was no urgency, but Johnson's like, yeah, it'll come to me. And it did.
So I know what you're going to do is Stevenson gets that one to go.
You know, I thought Bountiful would be able to control this game. I did not see this.
No, at all.
This has been.
Here's the 35 is the mercy rule. Now, it doesn't take effect till the fourth quarter, but it's 35 points after the dead ball. The clock's continuously running unless it's a timeout or free throws.
And you could be in a situation in the first half.
Yeah. Had this a lot last year with Lone Peak. They
Well,
would do that a lot.
I mean, that's the thing. Brighton. I did Brighton Lone Peak last year. They were competitive in the first half.
We did Brighton Bingham.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought this is going to be okay. Being okay. We talked about the first game was a 3-point game.
Yep.
And, man, Bountiful just come out and blitzed them. And Stevens gets the free throws. She's yet to get a field goal tonight. She is 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
This is a jailhouse blitz. This is everyone's coming.
No.
Cover zero.
Yeah. I was going to say cover zero blitz. Unless you're the defensive coordinator for the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan's like, not again on this drive. Timeout. Like, no. No, Steve Wilkes. You will not do that again. And he won't do it again for the 49ers.
He will not. As if that was the biggest problem. But we won't get into that.
On the baseline. I just had to go up against my guy, Big Red. And there's a takeaway from Kira Pittman. Sent it ahead. Stevenson nearly with the steal to the rim and the finish and one. Sophie Nielsen.
Number 14 is
good recognition there by Brighton. Again, we talk about this half not going the way they or any of the fans thought, hoped, wanted, etc. But you get an opportunity to get that ball up the floor quickly. We talked about it in every game. Let's take the points. Nice job there by Nielsen.
Free throw
strong on attack.
Off the mark, and Charlotte O'Neal is going to be called for the foul.
For Charlotte O'Neal of the Bengals. Her second personal.
So number 2 on Charlotte.
You know, I didn't ask you, Dusty.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about? I know this is a girls' game. I get it. How do you feel like the cursive on the Bountiful boys' jerseys?
I love it.
Yeah.
I thought the script was great. And there's a traveling violation on Bountiful. Give the ball back to Brighton.
It's a very different look than the traditional look for that program. But you know, I kind of like Gus to come in and be like, I respect the program, the past, the tradition here. We're going to do it a little bit differently. And I think it was a good look.
They needed to. There was a little bit, hey, it's new breath. Let's get a new sense of new air in the room. Coach Mike Maxwell, the winningest coach in the history of Utah high school basketball. I have nothing but love and respect for Coach Maxwell. But if change is going to be made, then be the change.
Yeah. And I think some of that reaffirms for the new staff of we're not the old.
Yeah.
Right? And we are going to do it a little bit differently, for better or worse, good or bad, right? This year was, a lot of good fruits on the basketball floor.
Well, timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout. We'll take it. We'll stay. We're near halftime. We'll have a time to talk then. We want to remind you that not only do we, well, first of all, this is a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. So again, if you will visit our friends at Utah Facial Plastics, support those who support us. And again, if you think it's just about plastic surgery, it's not. You might, there's cosmetic needs, of course, but if you talk about hair loss concerns and want to restore your hair, you want to take care of a couple of different things, but also if you have a deviated septum, you're not sleeping well at night, all those different things, you can find out what the options are. Go to our friends at Utah Facial Plastics, multiple locations along the Wasatch Front, and let the best doctors in the business take care of you at Utah Facial Plastics. But also got swimming going on. BK Larson's got that taken care of. Brighton is the traditional powerhouse at Utah High School swimming.
I'm just waiting for the let's go swimming.
Hey, first of all, it's going to end up hurting us. Swimming's going to move to the fall. Dusty's not doing
That's
swim
going to
meet.
be a problem, yeah.
I'm not doing swim meets when it's it actually works out kind of great. Semifinal Friday, which means I miss prelims Friday, and I get to go call the championships. That is the funnest meet.
That's not bad.
Yeah, actually, this works out pretty good. Pretty good.
That's Dusty kind of walking in like king of the mountain on championship day, acting like he's been there all week. Hey guys.
Hey, when I decided to go shoot prelims yesterday. I'm willing to say
you are a man of the people.
Yeah,
that is fair.
I won't ask someone to do something I won't do. I just won't miss football semifinals. Out top with Harvey now to Satuwala. Malika gives that one up. A little short jumper goes in. Mae Johnson.
Mae Johnson.
She's had a good half. Started it off. Seen her defensively, contributed offensively.
Stevens on the drive and her first field goal
Number 2
of the day. Just a sophomore, Olivia Stevens. Remember, we said that about Harvey last year.
Yep.
Remember, it was her freshman year. They made the run to the semifinals. Ran into the buzzsaw known as Springville. As the three is good.
3-4. Number 14.
And you get that skip across and Hoff able to catch and shoot. She hit a couple of those in this first half.
Isabeau Huff puts them up 34. Stevens on the other end.
Number 2.
Thanks to the 32-point game.
I think she's going to be so good when it's all said and done.
Absolutely.
Started as a freshman last year. You see her growth and develop this year, her sophomore year.
Adelaide Stevens, no. Rebound to Johnson. Try to fit that over to Harvey. Out of bounds. Remain Bountiful ball with 49 seconds.
And that's where it's tough. That zone, a little slow to move into that soft spot, but the wing can't come up, and it's a lot of room for Stevens to come over. Bountiful, the way they just stretch you out, it's very difficult to defend.
Malika Satuwala makes it a 34-point game with that bucket. And now to 40 seconds on a running clock remaining in the first half. This has been all Bountiful. The three blocked by Harvey. Rebound, or probably loose ball taken by Satuwala. On the run with Adelaide Stevenson. And she'll settle in. Again, a 2-3 zone here for Brighton. Satuwala will hand back to Isabeau Huff for the final shot. 15 seconds on the game clock. Curious to see where this ball goes. Hoff sends it to the corner. Stevenson drops it in to Harvey. Good defense. Loose ball to Taylor Harvey. And she'll lay it up and in as time expires. Just as you thought you played good enough defense, Taylor Harvey comes away with the loose ball and gets the bucket.
Told you she'll find ways, no matter how well you think you may have defended her. Big lead.
Big lead. We go to the break. All Bountiful. It is Bountiful 39, Brighton 13. You're watching the 2024 5A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships. We're back with the halftime performances after this. And welcome into the second half. Dusty Litzter and Dane Stewart. Bountiful leads 39-13. And the only questions are clock rules here in the third quarter, as we were discussing it there.
We're not at 35.
My math, man. It's been a
So
long
the
day.
first question is, how do we
It's
get
been
to
a-
35?
It's been a long
And then we can talk
day.
about the
My
clock
bad.
rules.
That's my fault. Dusty. Never mind. I think about back. And welcome back into the Huntsman Center. Dusty Litzter, Dane Stewart. 26-point lead for Bountiful. Brighton could not have opened this game more difficult for themselves.
Well, 4 of 22 from the floor in that first half, and that's 18%. That's tough. Didn't make a three, 5 of 7 from the line. And Bountiful, on the other hand, 52% from the floor. How about 5 of 8 from long range? Bountiful is ready to go from the tip.
And O'Neal with her first field goal.
Yeah, she had a rough first half. And
Yeah.
that is her first field goal. Good to see that go down for Charlotte.
Now, I did do a game years ago, Corner Canyon versus Olympus. It was Zach Wilson's last basketball game in the state of Utah. Corner Canyon was running Olympus off the floor that night. And Olympus came back to tie or to win that game. Then went on to lose the state championship in the greatest state championship game that we've ever had in the state of Utah. So it's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not. But you need this and a bunch of those to go.
Yeah. Well, was that night Wagstaff went crazy? Ryland Jones wouldn't stop driving to the hole. And Corner Canyon went like crazily cold after they were insanely hot as Satuwala gets to the rim.
Of course, that was back when Dusty just liked Zach Wilson.
I was in like with him then.
Yeah, and like.
I was in like with him. Well, I'm Team Wilson forever now. As on the drive, there's a foul. In fact, he was at the BYU Baylor game this week. My oldest daughter, her heart skipped a beat and goes, "Can we go meet him.
That's her
And I
second
thought,
first one.
there was a whole line up the
Oh, I'm
portal.
sure.
Up the portal, come get selfies with Zach. And I was like, no, it's in the middle of the game. I thought about doing it after the game, but it was 18,000 people there. I was like, we'll figure this out some other time.
Don't you care about your daughter?
I love my
What
daughter.
the heck?
For the
Come on,
Redhawks,
Dusty.
number 32.
So I said, I don't want to rush it when he's getting bombarded by a bunch of other people.
Standing behind 16,000 people is more important or is less important than your daughter? mean,
I didn't say that.
sheesh.
I didn't say that. So we'll figure this out another time.
Look, I'll text Zach. We'll take care of this.
That may or may not have been the conversation on the drive home. Turns 12 on Wednesday. Is on
Zach? I thought he was a lot
Yeah,
older.
about that.
Wow, whoa.
The miss there by Mae Johnson. From up top, Satuwala off on the 3. Oh, Johnson was trying to tip that over. Probably get the tip to Johnson. So that ball goes off the hands of Vanna Larson. On the drive now, Stevens. And there's the foul going to be charged to Isabeau Huff. But the first, you remember the first player I kind of was like, that's my guy. Mike Haig. Oh, I guess we weren't doing prep talk together then.
Yeah.
Mike Haig was my guy that first year.
I remember
doing
you
games.
talking a lot about Mike Haig.
I love that guy. Phil, I still feel like Brighton could have won that state title if Mike Haig hadn't gotten hurt in the first half. As that lips out. And how about the fight there? Sophie Nielsen and one. She'll not go down without a fight. She'll not just go out into the night. She's going to live on.
Foul on number 30.
Great play.
Mae Johnson.
Because this is the day we celebrate our 23-point comeback day.
Shooting one.
What movie? Hit us up, get 4 cookies.
I had to change the line because it was.
You did. You were giving it all away.
Yeah. It's true.
What do you think?
Just this week, Ogden did it.
Ogden did
Now
do
they
it.
lost in overtime. But
Well, and there was a crazy comeback of one of the other ones, too, in the rural side, as Satuwala misses on that one. The rebound to O'Neal. Quickly on the run. Down the lane, Stevens short. Rebound to Stevenson. And a foul to Sophie Nielsen.
Brighton foul on number 4, Sophie Nielsen. That's her first personal and the first team foul.
And timeout on the floor, full timeout. We'll take it as well. It's a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. And we'll be right back.
This is NutriCost Kids Vitamin D Gummies. They contain a child's daily dose of vitamin D for a healthy immune system. They taste amazing, kids love them, and they're low in sugar. Easy for parents, great for kids.
Welcome back, Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart. 5:17 left in the third quarter. As we already have some state champions crowned in the basketball here in the state of Utah. Congratulations to South Summit. Kept Richfield from getting a football championship and a boys basketball championship. South Summit gets the win 68-56 over the Wildcats in their home arena, no less. The 3 on the way is good. Isabeau Huff for 3.
Wilston Hume had a special year. A lot of scoring for that Wildcat group.
Well, absolutely. In 3A, boys. Oh, that was 3A, boys. It's weird for me to think that South Summit is in 3A.
Yeah.
2A that's a nice take and make. Ruth Larson. In 2A, it was North Summit holding off Kanab 50-47.
Saw that North Summit team. Went and did a game when they took on Roland Hall. Buck Sargent, Trevor Richens.
Oh, that's where you had to shoot one like it's at Judge Memorial.
Correct.
Yeah, got that ball into Harvey, and Harvey gets the and one.
Foul on number 34 is Charlotte O'Neal of Brighton.
And Charlotte O'Neal picks up the foul.
That's her third personal, second team foul. Harvey, your profile.
So Harvey makes the +1 free throw.
Brighton substitution, number 22, Ava Nielsen. Replacing Olivia Stevens.
So 4:14 left and a 25-point lead for Bountiful. A steal to Harvey. Taylor gets that ball ahead, a little sharp, and unable to handle it. Xana Larson, the ball go back to Bountiful. Drop that in to Sophie Nielsen. Sophie backs down. Stevenson can't get it. Loose ball, and Stevenson comes away with the rebound. Harvey gives that off to Satawala. Malika in the lane, and a traveling violation. Now she took that step.
Good move by Satawala. She had 3 Brighton defenders around her. They certainly have those kick opportunities, and turnover just before that will take it away.
So it's at a 3.5 left in the third quarter. Brighton, it was such a slow start. It's good to see them in the 20s, as that shot would not drop for Sophie Nielsen. Looking on the run, here comes Harvey. 1-2, layup won't go. Rebound to O'Neal.
Yeah, switched that to her left, knowing that's where the opportunity was, and it just came up uncharacteristically short.
Around the baseline, no, and Harvey claims the rebound. Good on her not trying to make that difficult pass. I thought she was going to. Is on the drive again, not going to call it. They haven't called it all day, and O'Neal gets the block.
A couple times where she kind of takes that ball high and then goes for that low scoop shot. That time, well defended by O'Neal.
And a missed opportunity on this end of the floor. The rebound again to Bountiful. We have one more game today. Set the tip off at 9:10 as Harvey pulls and hits the 3.
4-3.
And the lead to 28.
She almost plays an effortless kind of game, right? Where it just flows so easy, and there's such great rhythm inside of everything she does, and she can confidently step out and hit it too.
It is a full timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. It's a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. Yeah, we'll be back in just a moment. 2:14 left in the third quarter. And a 3 from Stevens is good.
4-3.
So Olivia Stevens makes it a 25-point game. Even I can't mess up that math.
Atta kid. Way to go.
Still heartbroken at Carbon losing in the semifinals. You know, I just have to get it all together.
Clear the mechanism.
Well, there goes Satawala. Ball slapped out. Huff hits that ball inside. Malika fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Brighton ball on number 22, Ava Nielsen.
So the foul to Ava Nielsen.
You want to talk about maturation. Talk about, obviously, she grew last year compared to this. 18 points a game. And how about 7.5 rebounds? Like, the impact that she's making on the floor night in, night out has certainly grown for this Bountiful side. And just a sophomore, she's got a lot more years ahead.
No, absolutely. And she gets her own rebound on that one. And think of last year, the run of the title game. She was the difference in that semifinal and the championship game. Good hands by Lucy Chin. Hey, Megan Youngberg, congratulations. She gets 4 cookies. So we'll reach out to Megan Youngberg, and we'll get her information. We'll get you the information. Get your 4 cookies from Crumble.
Fantastic.
And then answer the last movie quote, Independence Day. Like I said, we just really lowered that one. That's one of my favorite lines to say when we review games. As that shot does not go. Outside with Satawala. Now over to Isabeau Huff. Long on the triple and the rebound. And run out here with Olivia Stevens. And we'll have a foul first And this will be charged to number 22, Sila Tuakoi. Sila Tuakoi with the foul. Of course, Tuakoi, it's always fun to have all the football names. It means we weren't, I'm not shy about how to pronounce that one.
Harvey in for the Redhawks. For Brighton, number 2.
Tuakoi ripped it up for the football team, especially in the state tournament. That was an Adam Hine-like run when Adam Hine was Adam Timo at Snow Canyon, who just turned it on his freshman year that year. There's a block. Yeah.
Remind me what position he played.
Running back for Snow Canyon.
No, I know Adam Timo, but I meant
Tuakoi, the running back.
That's not his name.
It's not Tuakoi?
No.
Dang it.
Because that's where I was like,
Was it Tuakoi?
I don't think you're talking about who you think you're talking about.
Okay. Man.
And now I got to go look. It's not Tuakoi. It's not the running back.
Number 11, Malika Sachuala. Number 4, Adelaide.
It's like right there.
Replacing Hunt. And
well, now I'm going to see. I'm stuck, so.
I'll get it.
Shot does not go. The rebound to Bountiful. Fekitoa.
Yep.
Dusty. 8 seconds left in the third.
And yes, that was an Adam Timo-like run.
It really was. There's the 3. And that lips out. Board put back. And it won't go. As we go to the fourth quarter, it is all Bountiful. Bountiful leads 51-26 on the Brighton Bengals. You're watching the 2024 5A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
Start of the fourth quarter, Dusty Litzter and Dane Stewart with you. 25-point lead for Bountiful as we open up this quarter. Give it to Brighton. They haven't just rolled over. Stevens going to pull. And that just crawls off the rim. Loose ball taken away by Satawala. Ahead to Harvey. Harvey steps through and scores. Oh, nice take and finish by Taylor Harvey.
Yeah, good demonstration of her strength. Working around 3 Brighton defenders, multiples with hands on the ball. He will rip that through and still finish.
And the take, no good. Saved back in. And now lost the handle. And it's picked up by Bountiful quickly ahead. And a layup is missed. Larson could not get that one to go. Quickly back the other way. Nice defenses. Brighton will reset as Stevens does get the call on Harvey. It'll put Stevens at the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Such a good combination of ball handling and speed. A lot of times you'll see players where they can handle the ball really well, got to slow it down, or we can speed it up a little bit, but you might get a little loose. She's done great in terms of that first step, working through intense pressure moments, and still being able to keep good control of the basketball in navigating through Bountiful.
First free throw is good. And now she'll have one more. And that one comes off the rim. Rebound to Satawala. They quickly get it ahead to Anna Larson. She's blocked by Charlotte O'Neill on the 3. Stevens on the drive. Harvey maybe got a piece of that one. And now the putback won't go for Cassidy Mulholland. And now a foul on Brighton.
Foul on number 10, Taylor Harvey.
And I can't. The foul.
Number 10 goes out of Arnoldson.
Wrong way there.
It's been a long day for Jeff, too.
Yeah.
Stevenson sends that ball over. Now it's Satuala for three, and that one's wide to the left. Rebound to Cosette Arnoldson. Sent out to O'Neal. Charlotte O'Neal in the lane. No. Ball loose. She gets the rebound. And then a timeout granted.
Timeout called by Brighton.
By Coach Kane Stokes. 30-second timeout. We'll take it too. Or no, you're good?
Oh, I was going to ask a question.
Oh, go ahead. I love questions.
Okay.
Into the Bountiful lineup, number 30.
This did not make our trivia. You can't look at my screen.
I can't
Come on.
read that far.
Okay. Which school, Bountiful or Brighton, has more missed basketballs?
Miss
Missed
basketballs?
basketballs. All right, so like Mr. Basketball, Miss
Yeah.
Basketball.
I'm going to go
Which of these two has more missed basketball?
Brighton. I know Bountiful has Kennedy Redding.
Okay.
I don't think Taylor got it last. Taylor Harvey did get it last year. Bountiful.
Bountiful?
Yeah.
You want to take a guess at the number?
3.
They both have 2.
Nancy Celius.
They both have 2.
Yeah.
So I was surprised you didn't get Celius because
Yeah,
I was like,
knew that. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you nailed Kennedy Redding.
Yeah.
And Nancy Celius, the 2 for Bountiful. For Brighton, Vanessa Hudson in 05 and Tasha Dickey in 07.
Wow.
So each program with 2 missed basketballs in their history.
That was when our old employer wouldn't let us cover girls basketball. Not true. I'm only joking.
That was the legendary 31-29 overtime state championship in a 3A game.
2 overtimes. What are we talking about?
That's when Dust were like, we need a shot clock. It all started then and there.
What are we talking about? That was the 06 tournament. As that ball crawls off, that was a first state championship game we were called. Canyon View versus Emory. Cassie Platt, Canyon View Falcons.
Yeah.
Coach Hodgkins, no longer with us, got his last state championship after taking over Canyon View after finishing up coaching at SUU. He is Mr. Cedar City. Coached at Cedar High School, then coached at SUU women's basketball, and then coached at Canyon View.
Wow.
As Brian get in some extra players here with about 5 minutes left. Probably that's Ruth Larson, so they kind of substituted in their starters. There's a steal by Chin. Back up the floor. Nice take and finish by Sophie Nielsen.
Sophie Nielsen.
But that was when the tournaments ran concurrent together. That's why we didn't cover the girls.
Yep.
And I will say there was some much ado about making what we've done. I think in the name of getting everything covered, I actually enjoy it. Because we do the girls' basketball with Lone Peak and we get others, and it's nice to be able to see everything.
Yeah.
On the drive, a little strong there by Malia Nelson. Larson, right down the lane. Nobody stops her.
Too much momentum. Great read there, though.
Had been thinking someone's going to come over on the contest sooner or later.
That might be one of the rare Bountiful defensive miscues today.
Timeout.
Certainly is. Full timeout. We'll be right back. It's a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
Second timeout.
4:01 left in the fourth quarter. That ball got tipped by Larson, but ends up in the hands of Bountiful. Stevenson over to Nelson. So good on Coach Burton, our reigning 5A Coach of the Year as well. And the other players on the floor. Don't need to risk injury as Johnson has that one blocked away by Charlotte O'Neal. Charlotte wants to go coast to coast. Got the block on one end, sends that ball out. Chin, extra pass to Larson. And Ruth Larson misses the 3. Stevenson with the rebound.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about more games to go, right? Get the winner of Box Elder and Olympus. Swept Box Elder this year.
I'm trying to remember last time I got a call a Box Elder girls basketball game. Some of the games kind of melt together, and I got a feeling I did one at Slick, but I can't really remember. Pirouette inside, jackknife it up, won't go for Mae Johnson.
It's going to be an interesting game, that Box Elder Olympus one. Josh Baker's been good. Olympus coming off the big upset over Alta. So if that can continue to propel the Titans.
It's that second year in a row, right? Olympus got.
Number 11.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Olympus got what, Alta?
Yeah. Maybe I'm misthinking it.
I don't remember.
Maybe they beat Jordan last year. I'm thinking Nehemiah Tolu.
Oh, they could have beat Jordan. Because, I mean, Alta was a tough year last year for Alta.
Been tough for a little bit.
It has.
Since Mariah Martin and crew.
Yep.
What we thought for sure is Alta versus Mountain View.
Yeah.
One of the worst bracketology videos we've ever done in that tournament. With the shot clock, though, we were right. What a play. How about that fit into Taylor Harvey?
Again, she doesn't need a lot of room. We've seen it a couple times where she just finds a way through.
Soft hands and able to put that away. And the shot is short. Out of bounds. Let's take a look at that. Thread the needle in there. You can thread needles, but you need someone that can make these catches. Boom. Right in her hand. Puts it up and in. It is all Bountiful. Full timeout. We're back. What a great
reverberation here. I just heard my bad.
What a great job by Austin Bigelow today. That guy's just been on point, yeah.
And not just for you folks at home. For everyone in the arena too. No pressure.
No pressure. The Jumbotron cam. I mean, he's a little wobbly, but I mean, he's done a great job in keeping things framed. As Malika Satawala gives the layup. And the hero cam to go with it. I mean, you wouldn't believe this is only his second basketball season shooting basketball. Because he was an involved manager when he was at Timpview. He wasn't the film guy.
He was calling the timeouts.
He ran practices. And he was security at practices.
Roo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
So the ball to the corner. 3 from Stevenson is good. And now timeout just gets substitutions in.
Big game for Big Red.
That's Big Brown Bear.
Took a while.
It did take a second. 57.4 seconds left. I thought we were going to do straight substitutions, and they're going to take a true timeout here, get some players on the floor. And look, we're game 7 of 8 today. And this game, Bountiful jumped out quickly, put this one away early. It's hard to stay super focused into the situation when the outcome's been decided.
19-1 or 19-2.
19-2, yeah.
And those were off of free throws. So it was about the worst start you could imagine.
Yeah.
Irregardless of team, right? Like, no one wants to come out and have that kind of start, especially in the quarterfinal against defending state champ. It made it really tough for Brighton today to be able to dig out of that.
Yeah. Because in the world's of analytics, your win probability was plummeting.
Yeah, the win predictor is not real favorable at that point.
At that point, it doesn't matter if you're going for 2 or kicking an extra point on a down 14 in the fourth quarter.
Right. Yeah.
Number 22, Niels. Number 10.
I want to get into that conversation. There's a foul on the drive. I'll keep that for off camera. Even Nielsen fouled on the drive.
You can say what you want, but analytics never taking a free throw.
It's true. In the words of Trent Dilfer, obviously never been in a huddle with all your teammates either. So at the free throw line is Avon Nielsen. The shot does not go.
Good year for Brighton, though. Mm-hmm. Obviously going to come to a close here today. But you look at this group, tough region. And they found a way to finish second in that region, tied for second in that region. Good year. And I know, obviously, they would have loved for today to be different. Battled as much as they could.
No, absolutely. And sometimes you run into a buzzsaw, and that's what they ran into today. Bountiful was ready to prove that they're up to the task to defend their title. We saw this with Alta earlier today, the boys' side. They're the reigning 5A champion, got a push from Brighton, and then able to take care of business. They want to defend their championship. 8 seconds on the shot clock, and the steal in this game, I'll say it was going to come to a close. Missed on the layup. The rebound and putback is there for Charlotte Johnson with 6 seconds. And on the drive, that ball goes out of bounds. 2.4 seconds. The ball goes back to Bountiful to close this one out. But a great year for Coach Kane Stokes and his team. Not a senior on this roster. So all these players will be back next year for the Brighton Bengals. But the final score is Bountiful 62, Brighton 30, and they're still celebrating the semifinals like they should. Dan, your final selection of a player of the game.
Well, showed from the start, shot an incredibly impressive percentage today, both from the floor, from the line, from three. Player Adelaide Stevenson, actually. I think the long ball from her was great. I know Taylor Harvey, but she's a player of the game every game. So we're going to spread some love. We're going to go with Adelaide Stevenson.
Adelaide was great. That's a great selection. Again, our final score, Bountiful 62, Brighton 30. Adelaide Stevenson, our Heidemann and Associates player of the game. For Dane Stewart, Austin Bigelow, and Vince Francis, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and for watching KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the 2024 5A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com, presented by Heidemann and Associates. And our playoff coverage is brought to you by NutriCost. Go to NutriCost.com. Over 300 supplement options available on the website. Get 30% off. Just use the code UtahMade. A Utah-made company making products for Utah-made athletes. We'll come up with our eighth and final game of the day in moments. Thanks for watching the 2024 5A State Tournament.